just started pretty quickly. We have one in the net. Today's going to be a good day. So here we are, fishing on the upper side of Lough Erne at the minute. Very windy, very wet, typical Northern Ireland day. Only really were fishing for about 5 minutes before we had the first run, which was a low double. It's not shaping up to be a bad day. I've got 3 rods out, the fella I'm fishing with has 2 rods out. So we're just kind of taking our time and enjoying the day. There seems to be some, there's a bit of activity here. Waterways Ireland have drove a load of trucks into the carpark where we're parked up. So I'm wondering what they're here for. But either way, it'll be time to get another brew on, and then we will go and catch hopefully some more fish. 11.5 I'll give you. It's a double.
11.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great.
11.5. Aye. That's fine, let's just get this breath back.
Yeah. See, once I first hooked it, it sort of just went solid, and I thought I could feel something, and then it went solid, and I thought I'm in a fucking drop or something.
No.
I thought I'd lost it for a wee while.
No. Just takes a bit of time for it to get its breath back and get its bearings. It's going to slip away now. There you go.
Nice.
Today's lunch or breakfast. We're not having steak today. Not having bacon either. We're having a nice chicken Maryland. Some nice chicken and chicken fillets with breadcrumbs, and I'll do them in the frying pan later on. I also have a Cuban cigar to smoke. Today isn't so bad. The rain is coming in. We get kind of a wave of rain. We get kind of rain for half an hour, and then it kind of buggers off for an hour. But it's time for number 2 cup of tea or coffee. And I will then hopefully turn you guys back on when I'm holding a pike. Touch wood. Weather seems to have brightened up just a little bit. It's great. Although you can see the clouds rolling over the mountains, you know you're going to get drizzle. Like just in front of us there with the mountains, there's going to be drizzle hitting here. Waterways Ireland have come to put non-slip strips on the jetties, so they're going to go and start up there and cover those jetties first. Typical, isn't it? You get fishing and you get kind of all set up and everything ready to rock and roll, and before you know it there's people kind of on top of you wanting to chat to you. Social distancing, eh? But no, here we are. We are at the infamous Corridillar jetty. You'll remember this place from last year where I had the 11.5 or the 12 pound brown trout. This is where I had it from. It took a massive big lump of a mackerel. I think it was like a 10-inch whole mackerel at the time. So, top tip for you trout guys on the Erne, get on the mackerel. The last session I had out as well, it was that brownie took a mackerel as well. It isn't that cold, it's just a bit miserable. Weather forecast today says it's going to be not that bad. Let me just check. Let me just check where we are. It's 9 degrees, 79% chance of rain, and sunshine breaking through the odd time. So, typical autumn day for Northern Ireland. On this rod here, closest to me, I have a nice big rainbow trout. The middle rod I have a smelt, one of the last of the turbo smelt that I have. I think I've got about 10 or 15 of them left, need to stock up on them. And the very end rod is a joey mackerel. It's a beautiful place to stand and enjoy the great outdoors. It's like I said before in the videos, I love this time of year where the trees are all turning different colours, and normally the boat traffic, they've all pissed off, but about half an hour ago we had a dredging barge come past. Show you a little clip of that now. Must be a heavy old brute of a thing if it takes 3 boats to push it along here. But if you're going that direction, you head up to Derryad. That is the Lady Craigavon Bridge. Then you head up there, you go past Stalisnaski Marina, then you have Derryad Jetty. You have the Hare Krishna Island, where the religious people are. If you head that direction, eventually you go into you come to the Belle Isle Estate, then you go down past Cleanish Island and past Ballinalake Marina into Enniskillen. So this is kind of the middle point of the upper system. Where we're fishing, you want to be into the shipping channel, the deeper cut. Straight off the jetty, it's about 6 feet. When I'm here in the summer feeder fishing, I would tend to clip up anywhere between 50 metres out to 70 metres to feeder fish. So you definitely are fishing in the deeper shipping channel. But it's good to see Waterways Ireland's out preparing or fixing the jetties, putting non-slip coatings down on them. Doesn't make for a quiet day's angling though when you have 16 cars and vans and car park parked on top of you. But I'm remaining positive. Gonna get a pike. Today's lunch or breakfast, we're not having steak today, not having bacon either. We're having a nice chicken Maryland. Some nice chicken and chicken fillets with breadcrumbs, and I'll do them in the frying pan later on. I also have a Cuban cigar to smoke. Today isn't so bad. The rain is coming in. We get kind of a wave of rain. We get kind of rain for half an hour and then it kind of buggers off for an hour. But it's time for number 2 cup of tea or coffee. And I will then hopefully turn you guys back on when I'm holding a pike. Touch wood. We're getting some of the cooking done. We've got to sit on the old ridge monkey. Not a fan of the ridge monkeys. And then I'm getting my nice chicken Maryland, and that's going to go into a bread roll. Another exciting addition of cooking with scobes, eh? Oh. I'm using a new type of oil as well. Bran rice oil. Never used it before. It's meant to be good for you, but we will soon find out. It looks damn good. It's looking good, I can't wait to eat it. The chicken Marylands might not be the best choice. The crumbs, the breadcrumb just kind of fell off. But underneath it is basically a chicken fillet. So to kind of speed up the cooking, I butterflied it in half and then put it down. So you're kind of cooking it well cooked through. You don't want to fuck around with chicken. You gotta cook the chicken properly. Otherwise you'll be having the shits. No one wants the shits. But breakfast. Right. Let's give our big rainbow trout some salmon oil for a bit of a change. This is the great thing about these Nash butt grip things. Brilliant. You can use them to hold your syringe full of oil. Big old rainbow trout. Let's put this bad boy out again. And that's us on the bottom. I like to have my lines bowstring tight to the bait. That just means that as soon as the fish picks up the bait, there's the drop arm, picks up the bait, moves, drop arm goes, and we get to know that there's a fish on the end. Big rainbow trout, smelt, whole mackerel. What time is it? 20 to 2 in the afternoon. We have had one fish, the two of us. It's not so bad, it was a double. I'd prefer if we had more than one fish, but what can you do? Beggars can't be choosers. The guys from Waterways Ireland that were here to put the non-slip on the jetties, they all turned about and disappeared, they all left. So God knows where they've went to. Maybe they went back to the yard and said we couldn't get onto the jetty because there was bad nasty anglers who wouldn't move. Well, the traps are set. I think it is time for a cigar. I have a Cuban cigar to smoke, so it's time to get stuck into that maybe. I'm not sure if the GoPro's picking this up in the distance, but you can see the top of that mountain in front of me. A load of bloody windmills. What an eyesore. And apparently they're wanting to put a load more of them on the backside of that mountain. Strange. Fingers crossed that another pike turns up today. Still only the one fish. It isn't too bad. Weather-wise, it's just getting a little bit windier. But apart from that, it's been a good day so far. I probably will not get chicken Marylands for bankside cooking again, as the bread crust batter just seemed to kind of burn off, and I was left with a plain chicken fillet. Oh well, you live and learn. These things are a learning experience. The Waterways Ireland guys that came down to put non-slip planks on the jetty didn't put any non-stick planks on the jetties here. They just sat here for 2 hours and then drove off. One of my friends is currently fishing at Derryad. They currently went up to Derryad and replaced 3 planks and then drove away. I did ask them, are they putting the non-slip material on the whole of the jetty? And the guy said, why would we do that? And I kind of looked at him as if to say, well, because the whole wooden jetty gets slippy, so putting non-slip material on all of the jetty would make the jetty non-slip. But I could kind of get the whole feeling that the lights were on, but the hamster has long since passed away. Turning the hamster that turned the cog in the brain. Farewell, hamster. Oh. I have a rainbow trout out, I have a whole mackerel and a smelt out at the minute. Nothing since that one fish. It was a double. It's not so bad. It was pretty much the first thing. We barely got the rods on, the rod was away. So it must just have literally been sitting there. You know. I'm going to do a review on... I've been asked to do a review on the fishing reels I use. I've been asked to do a review on the Coleman stove. I've been asked to do a review on about 12 different bloody things. So there's going to be either some disappointed people because they can't do the reviews on all the different bloody things, or there's going to be some annoyed people because all the channel seems to be doing is reviews on stuff. Can't please everybody. I put up that video of Sunday's fishing session, and I left the phone and my charge up and went on and did normal stuff. And I came back and there's like tons of comments, tons and tons of comments. I was like, Jesus Christ! So I had to sit and reply. I try and make it a point of replying back to each of the comments. I do try and get back to people. Those comments that kind of pop out of nowhere that they completely take your breath away. And no, I'm not talking about the skanky bitches trying to fleece you of your pennies if you subscribe to their porn site. I've no idea why these are popping up in my videos, but one fella, he's going through dialysis at the minute. So I want to take this wee opportunity to wish him all the best, and that I hope he's back fighting fit again soon. Dialysis isn't a fun process, so I really hope that first of all I'm fucking blown away that your comments where watching my videos helps get you through the dialysis program. First of all, that's a hell of a compliment, but I'm sending you lots of warm positive energy. And if we ever get to meet, then I will definitely either buy you a pint or get you a day on the bank fishing. But for somebody to say that watching me talk shit on the internet for however long it is helping them get through a lot of medical problems, yeah, it's quite the thing to say. It is quite the thing to say. That's two such things like that in as many weeks. I mean, there was the guy that was in who had the stroke, and he was saying that watching me doing my stuff helped him get through his recovery. And it's like, I'm over the moon that people are getting stuff from the videos, not just the usual tips, tricks and stuff like that there. So if you're out there and you're struggling and this wee video makes you smile a wee bit, there's a thumbs up for you. I've had to kind of put this brolly up, and you're kind of using the thin strip of grass beside the car park. First of all, you had to check for dog turds to make sure there was no dog turds. Couldn't see any dog turds, which was good. And then we put the brolly up and the wind's slowly pushing it forward. So, not much I can do. I want to do a review of these reels eventually. The XT-EA Super Bait Runner by Shimano. In my humble opinion, these were the best bait runners ever made on the market. I don't know why Shimano stopped making them, but you'll have to watch out for the future review on them. Reading somewhere that Prince Harry, remember him? He used to be the cool royal, okay for a ginger, but he used to be the bit of a boy, bit of a lad. Then he married that absolute woke princess lunatic. Well, apparently he doesn't do any more angling because she's told him she doesn't like it. Well, I can't even call him Prince Harry because he's been sacked from that job too. Harry, if you ever get to watch this, mate, next time you're on TV, blink 3 times really quick and we'll come and rescue you, mate. Because it's clear you're either being fucking you have either been stitched up properly like a kipper and she's got some severe dirt on you, or you've been held against your will, son, because I've never seen a human being doing a 180 turn on his whole life, his whole family and his country as quick as you have, son. For 1 minute, once this man started up the Invictus Games for wounded veterans. Great idea, great plan, you know, raised millions for charities for wounded soldiers, wounded airmen, wounded sailors, you know, cracking thing. Then all that's took away. Not because he did anything wrong, well, he did something wrong, he married the wrong woman. You know, she has definitely got the hooks in there, hasn't she? Doesn't do field sports anymore because she doesn't like it. Doesn't do angling, she doesn't like it. Then done the silly thing by interfering in American politics because she doesn't like Donald Trump. Meanwhile, in reality, Harry, it's none of your fucking business who the Americans vote for. And for you to get involved, well, it was a very grave mistake, and it's obviously cost you your royal title. Now he's talking about the UK needing a more diverse education to talk about the sins of slavery. I want to know how much more of this shit we're all going to be force-fed. You know, civilizations were conquered, countries were ransacked, slavery happened around the world. The United Kingdom, it got itself in debt for hundreds of years to stop slavery. The United Kingdom was one of the first countries in the civilized world to stop slavery. We kind of sent our own navy around the world to stop slavery. So as things go, the UK kind of doesn't really have to apologise for much because it's instrumental in the abolishment of slavery. Now I know certain people that there's no matter how much you do, it'll never be enough. But I'm really struggling to understand the ethos behind this. The last bit of insanity I heard was that people are crying for, they're wanting kind of paid compensation because historically they might have been a slave. Really? Reparations? Really? When's the British people going to get reparations from the Vikings? Or the Romans? You know? I guarantee you this poison is going to ruin us. This whole, you know, PC woke agenda crap, I don't get it at all. It's like this morning when I read on, just as I was leaving the house to come here, one of my friends sent me the TV show in the morning, this morning, it's on a British TV. And I kind of don't watch it because it's usually garbage. But they were discussing the movie Grease. Remember that movie? You know, Grease, John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. You know, it's a very old-fashioned movie. You know, it's a chick flick. Women seem to fucking love it. But apparently, according to the feminazis, it's nothing but a sexist, you know, patriarchal thing. That the woman had to amend who she was to become fanciful for the man. She had to change who she was to become, you know, worthy of the man's attention. It's like, do these people ever have a fucking day off? Really? Either the wind has got my drop arm, or Sid has thrown the lure over it. False alarm. I didn't have a rod. My fishing and me go through a line over the top, through a lure over the top of me. So I have banished him to the far jetty. I'm sure it's at this point you're wondering, where's the rest of the fishing footage? How did the rest of the day go? Well, we fished until about darkness, and then we left and went home. Nothing else was caught apart from one fish during the morning, which you've seen the footage of. The weather got predominantly worse, but it's a choice of packing up in the rain or packing up in the gusting wind and rain. We chose to just pack up as quick as we could and leave the location. The Erne at the minute is fishing a bit strange. The water is still very warm. It was 12 degrees on Wednesday. I do not know why it's that warm. I'm thinking maybe because we haven't had a short, sharp shock of winter yet. We haven't had any frost. We've had a couple of frosts on the ground, but nothing that's going to bring the water temperatures down below 10 degrees. For me, 10 degrees is like the magic number. Anything above 10 degrees in the Erne system is what I would class as, hot, warm. The shoalfish, they're still spread far and wide throughout the whole system. And the pike, they're spread equally as far and wide, chasing these shoalfish. Once the temperature dips below 10 degrees, fish tend to bulk up and head to what would be known as their winter swims. Like for instance, under some of the rivers, there'd be like a big deep hole. The fish will tend to go there because in the depths of water, it's a bit more, they prefer that a little bit more than other areas of the river. Same with the lochs, There'll be areas that the pike and the shoalfish will move to in the winter that maybe in the summertime they're not there. So it's about trying to find these areas where the fish are going to. Unfortunately, fish aren't in the winter swims just yet. The areas that I would class as winter swims have been getting some pretty constant angling pressure from guys that I know are decent anglers, and they're blanking. So that tells me that the fish haven't moved there yet. Guys telling me that they're still catching fish high up in the water column, all over the place, tells me that the fish are still all over the place hunting down the shoalfish. What we want, what we really, really want, a little Spice Girls reference there for you older folks, is a good week of sub-zero weather in the evening. Drive that water temperature right down, push the fish into the winter areas, and then it should make catching them a little bit easier. The cold weather also has a added bonus. The fair weather anglers among us don't tend to like the cold weather that much, so they tend to stay in the nice warm beds, while mentally ill types like me decide to get up at 6 in the morning, drive half an hour to a fishery, and try and catch fish in water that you don't want to fall into. However, that's the game. I'm hoping that happens, because we're in the middle at the minute. We're at the end of October. We're moving into November, so we should technically be, starting the winter time. But in the long range weather forecast, there's no real long cold snaps on the horizon. There's plenty of rain, there's plenty of wind, but wind and rain can actually, keep the water temperature like above the 10 degrees. If you've got rain that's falling down, that's relatively warm, going into rivers, then it's going to heat the rivers up. If the rivers are, at a temperature flowing into the loch, then eventually the loch's going to match the temperature of the river. So it's all a big cycle. Now, I'm not wanting like 10 feet of snow and 6 foot of ice. I'm just wanting a few weeks of a nice, hard, cold frost. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I'm going to have to don the magic underpants and throw the magic chicken bones up in the air and pray to Ooga Booga or, whoever. See if I can get a bit of winter coming on to us. Anyway, the next session I go will be this weekend. I'm going to be fishing by myself. Because I am fishing in various locations around Fermanagh and Tyrone, I'm not going to tell people where I'm fishing at this next location. Not because I don't want, people to go there. It's a free fishery. Anyone can fish there. I'm just wanting some peace and quiet. And this particular stretch where I'm going to, if the guy still lives there, then I get access to it. I think the guy, I don't know if he's still there anymore. But if he's not there, then I'll use the public side. If he is there, then I'll use his farm field, which just means that I get, access that's out of the way. It's not fished. It's kept policed because the farmer has livestock there. But that's for this weekend. On other news, my mate Pete Foster does the drop arms. If you want to go and speak to Pete to get drop arms, you need to do it kind of sharpish because his supplies are drying up because of the whole COVID crap. So you have to kind of give him a bit of a shout before he runs out on his stocks. He will get new stocks in. It's just taking a little bit of time for this COVID stuff. It's kind of slowing the whole thing up, as I'm sure you understand. Again, use the code that I've got set up so you get free postage when you won't make an order. Apart from that, I want to take this point to say thank you to my subscribers. You guys are awesome. I want to say thank you to everyone that likes, shares, leaves comments, does all the stuff on the YouTube. I do try and get back to all of you guys. I do try and respond to all of the comments. Same as when guys reach out on Facebook, I do try and get back to you. Recently, I had a huge upsurge in views on my videos. I'm not sure why that happened. I mean, I was just doing the normal things that I do, but I started to get comments from guys in like Australia and around the world, even South African guys, and were reaching out. So I'm amazed that the videos are kind of going around the world as much as they're going around. So it's a bit kind of knocked me for six when you've got guys that are reaching out to say hello, I'm watching your videos. I'm currently taking a dump, watching your videos on the toilet in Australia, and you think, wow, I'm helping some guy out there in Australia in the land down under. My videos have given him the shits. No, but other little things since the YouTube thing. A guy reached out and he said that he was on dialysis. And watching the videos helps him get through dialysis. So I want to take this point to say to the guy that I'm rooting for you, and I hope that you're back fighting fit soon, because dialysis sucks balls. It's not nice at all. And the various people that have reached out, and big thumbs up. I want to say thank you. It's very humbling this when you get guys reaching out and saying positive things to you. I don't usually get that. I usually get, well, not so positive comments, shall we say. Bearing in mind when I was doing things like working on the doors and security in pubs, it's they're not so cordial, they're not so polite. But I want to say thank you to everyone that's reached out. You guys definitely rock. Until the next time, tight lines.